Hey everyone, Rom Space Knight here, and today I want to show you some of the creations I've made over the years. Now I can't show you all of them because from the beginning I made a bunch of Smash Bros. Brawl figures and statues, and over the years they've been broken and beaten, so I can't really show you them today because I don't have them anymore. But after them, I made this Cloud Strife statue. Now Cloud Strife is from Final Fantasy VII, as you all may know, and he is one of my favorite characters design-wise from that game. With his Buster Sword and with just the look of him is very nice and good. Now I captured that at my age of maybe 8 or 9 fairly well in my opinion. The next figure I made after Cloud was Knights from Nights into Dreams and other Knights series. Now the first time I was introduced to this character was in Sonic Riders as a character that I just saw from the thing and really enjoyed his design. Now I captured the design I feel fairly well, even though he's bulky and kind of blocky and like he shouldn't be in most cases. But at the age like I made the Cloud Strife statue, I made this one. So for the time I feel it looks fairly good. And yeah, so here's a back view, side view, all of that. Now the next one I made as an evolution to show you all is this Knights statue I made a couple years ago to show a good evolution because I wanted to remake it. I feel I really got a better grasp of the character design and everything. This is more based on the Nights into Dreams look, and I feel it looks very nice, especially compared to the older version of it. It has all the roundness and smoothness that Knights should have, everything proportional, like it should be. The next figure I made after Knights, original Knights, was this Samba de Amigo. Now, that was a great game for the Wii that I loved, and to show that I made this figure of Amigo, and even though he looks weird, I love him, and even though he's been broken and beaten over the years, you can kind of see he's kind of been hollowed back together over the years because he got messed up. But I do love this figure a lot because it's one of my oldest favorite ones. Now to show evolution from this one, I also made evolution after the Knights one to make Amigo again. Now this Amigo is very, very closely resembling of the character art and character designs from the game, with his hat being very far up on the head. Back view, you can see all the details that are there that they should be, the tail and everything. It's made of a wire sculpture inside and clay on the outside. It's just a very nice looking statue in my opinion. Let's set him down. Okay, and there you go. Okay, so now this next one is Mr. Game & Watch, my favorite character from Smash Brothers. Now what's good about this figure that most might not be able to do, and what I was able to do back then, is that he's fully posable. He can move his arms and legs and head to get a fairly good range of motion for a flat character like he is. And for the time, I feel this is a very good representation of the character. This is him in his Wii U appearance. Now to go along with it, another one of my favorite characters from Smash Brothers is Rob. Not just because of his design, I've always just loved Rob in general as an NES accessory. And I've always wanted something to capture that design. There was never a statue, as this was before the Amiibos were announced. And so I made this Rob statue. He's fully posable as well. His arms do move, as you'll see in a second. See, his arms do move. His body and head are also posable because they're on a screw on his body. So everything's posable for this figure. And this is one of the many figures I made that I really did love from Smash Brothers. Now, to go along with this figure, I also made another one of my favorites, King Dedede. He is from Kirby and Smash Brothers, and I just love his design. He's just this fat, blue, arrogant penguin who just wants to go and be rivals with Kirby and eat and just have a great time. I love the design of the character, so I decided to capture that in clay form. This is one of my larger figures that I made, a little larger than the Rob, and he just looks awesome in my opinion. Even though the paint could be better, I feel he just looks great for the time. Okay, so now the next one I made was these Kirby and Meta Knight. These ones are actually made before the Game & Watch and all of them, but I decided to show them now, and they're made as a pair. I loved the designs of the characters from Brawl and Wii U, so I decided to go with that look for these ones. This was Kirby from his Smash Wii U appearance before the amiibos. Actually, this was actually made before amiibos were announced completely. This is Meta Knight though, and he's got his full things, all of his back cape and his sword and all that. Now, Kirby once again was made before the amiibos were announced, and I feel looks very good for the time, and definitely captures the look of the character, in my opinion. Now, this next character, the cult character from the Sega days, his name is Boogerman, and he goes along the lines of like Earthworm Jim and the gross-out side-scrolling platformer, and I just love his design and love the game from when I was a kid. So I decided to capture it in clay form, as I've done for the other characters, and I really love the just pose and the cartoon look that I was able to capture for this character, especially with the face, as you'll see in a second, as you can see now. It just looks great in my opinion. Even though there are some gripes, I still love this figure and love a lot of it. Now, this next character is King Hippo from Punch-Out Wii, specifically. I love Punch-Out Wii because it's a really fun game. I have it and it's just great. One of my favorites on the Wii. And I just love the way they translated his 2D sprite look into his 3D model. And I wanted to capture that in this statue. I got his crown and everything he has, his bandage, all of that. He even had the mat at the base to stand on, so he's better to stand. And the best thing I love about this figure has to be his face, as it just has this great expression on it, and I love the way I was able to capture that. Okay, and the next person I have is Shovel Knight. Now, Shovel Knight is a very great indie character from his namesake game, Shovel Knight. I've played this game on PS3, I have it on a lot of systems, PC and Wii U, and I love all of them. I even bought the Shovel Knight amiibo. This was made before that was announced, and I just love the look of this character. His design and his armor and everything is just so fun and interesting, with his shovel in his hand and everything. He's just a really gallant warrior looking type, and I just love the way that they captured that in the game. Now, this next statue I'm going to show you is another great indie title, and it really does go along great with the Shovel Knight and the rest of the indies I'm going to be showing you soon, and that character is Super Meat Boy. Now, I love everything that Evan McMillen and Team Meat has done, especially Super Meat Boy. Once again, I own this on PC, PS3, a lot of systems, and I just love the heck out of this game. Love playing it, love beating it, love getting frustrated at it as I suck at the game in many ways. I love the design of this statue I made because it's very, like, not super hyper realistic, but very detailed. Everything is 3D and shown, and I just love the look. Now, to go along with Super Meat Boy, I have his girlfriend, Bandit Girl. And Bandit Girl goes along with Meat Boy as it is also very highly detailed. Everything is transferred from the 2D design to a 3D statue. I even used real bandages to give it a nice look and feel that I wanted to achieve and accomplish. Now, she has everything that Super Meat Boy does in the back and the front. It's just very similar and goes along well the pair. These guys are both made of the pair, and I really do enjoy seeing them together, stacking them on top of each other, just whatever. It's just great to have them together. Now, speaking of Team Meat, and speaking of Evan McMillen and all that, the next one I want to show you all is Isaac from Binding of Isaac. Now, I love the grit and dirtiness of Binding of Isaac, and I wanted to show that with his statue. That's why I made him look lumpy and kind of bumpy, and not perfect. Very imperfect, if you will. Because that's what the game is. It's about an imperfect child that was about to be killed by his mother. I love the design of Isaac, and I love how I captured it in the statue. He's crying, so he can either be in a sitting pose or a huddled over pose like he is in his poster and cover art for the game. Okay, now I'm just going to go set him down with the rest of them on the table, like I've been doing. And the next character I have to show you all is another favorite of mine in design, is Q*bert, with his, very nice, funny-looking self. Now, I made this after watching Wreck-It Ralph because it brought Q*bert back into a light that he hasn't been in for a long time. And even with pixels that made him really stupid and weird, I still enjoy the fact that he was in the game and got some attention. Now here he is all his furry self and his cussing and all that, big feet and all. I really do love the design of Q*bert and glad that I was able to make this statue. Now this next statue I made, kind of a figure more than statue actually, is from a great Steam game and PC game, Kerbal Space Program. And here I have one of the Kerblings, Jebediah Kerman. And I really do love this figure. I love the design of the Kerblings, and I love how I showed it off in this statue. Now the best part about this is that he actually has a swappable head, and the helmet does come off and moves around. And I made another head for him as well. Once I tipped it around, it actually does be able to move around and showing his great look and self. Now I made a separate head for him, which is his buddy, Bill Kerman. And he is the scared one, as always sitting in the back next to Jebediah in fear, while the other one's happy and the other one's kind of just whatever. And I just love the look of these characters. Now this next one goes along well with Boogerman, as I showed you earlier, and this character is Earthworm Jim. Earthworm Jim is one of my favorite games from back in the day. I love his design, I love everything about him. Now this guy is actually a custom figure I made with the legs of Mr. Fantastic and the body of the Hulk. The head comes from an old retro Earthworm Jim figure I had lying around because I do love the game. I sculpted just about everything else on the figure, his gun, his little straps, and his backpack, his jetpack. And this game is just actually really good. I would say for all the people watching this, this is definitely a game that you should all go out and check out, as his design is representative of the game. They're both really great things. Now, another great game I want to talk about and want to show you the statues they're made of is the game Undertale. And my two favorite characters from that are Sans and Papyrus. Now, here I have is Sans, one of the brothers of the two. And the cool thing about this statue is that it is made of it's made of an air dry material instead of the clay I've been using, the oven bake. Now, this one is really cool. I love the design and I love how I captured the fur on the back of his jacket and everything else, just the look of him. Now, one of the cool things I did with adding a base and all that was I recessed the eyes and actually painted the inside so they kind of fall around and light up almost. And he even had the base to show him off. Now, the next one I want to show you all is his brother, Papyrus. Papyrus is one of my favorite characters from Undertale and all of that. So, he just has a great design and a great look and feel and just hilarious character. This one's made of the same material as Sans is, and it's been a great task to make this character because he just has an awesome design and one of the most fun to make in a while. Now this next statue is from Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and he's one of my favorite designs of an enemy in the game, and this is the Redead. Now the Redead is just an awesome design of a character and always has been my favorite design for a character. And he has very rough, scaly skin, and I just love the look of him. So I decided to emulate that with tinfoil and clay and all that. He even had the base made of rocky, swampy look with woods and all that, and a stand to hold him up in the back. I do love this figure a lot, and this is one of my favorite statues I've made just because he's my favorite looking design of a character. Next one I want to show you guys is this guy, Chuck D. Head, from a very classic game, the Cap Attack. He's got fully movable arms so he can chuck his head, and here is his head here. Now this head was a very nice sculpt of mine from a few years ago, and it just can slot into the top of the head here or into the hole in this guy's hand so you can chuck it. Yeah, this is Chuck D. Head. Okay, now the next one I want to show you, this is only from like maybe last year, is Zenyatta. Now this is my favorite character from Overwatch. He is my main, and this character was made as a custom figure using some WD figure parts for the legs, and a Silver Surfer body for the actual body. I even made his little ring of orbs to go onto his neck. So yeah, this is Zenyatta. This is the side view, back view, all of that good stuff. Okay. The next character I want to show you, cult character from PS1 era, is good old
Pepsi Man. Now I know you probably have seen my other video I did on the Pepsi Man, big Pepsi Man statue. I won't be showing that one as I already have a video on it. This is one of the first Pepsi Man creations I did. It's fairly old, that's why it's kind of some wear and tear paint on it. Pepsi Man, side view, back view, has a little chain here. That's new Pepsi Man. And I've also made classic Pepsi Man here. See? Classic. Here's the side view, the back view, made roughly the almost same time as the other Pepsi Man was made. Next, I want to show you these figures over here. Go along with the Smash Brothers one I made. These are the Ice Climbers. Now, these were made after Kirby and Meta Knight when I was on a trip and I decided to just make some clay sculptures. Now, I added the bases later because I saw amiibos and wanted to make some of my own. The statues themselves were made way before the bases were made. But yeah, here's Popo and Nana. Back view, all that. Okay. Next amiibo I made was a Miss Pac-Man amiibo to go as Pac-Man. Now I gave her own little custom special base to go along with the whole Pac-Man series, Pac-Man World specifically, and that's why I gave her design is from Pac-Man World. Next one here is a Ken, is a Ryu, customized Ryu amiibo to become Ken. I reposed his arms and made him look in a more, I don't know, jaunty stance, and gave him his nice flowing locks, as you can see. Repainted and everything. And then this one here is a Tangela one I made. It's actually a customized Kirby amiibo because I really enjoyed the look of Tangela and thought it would work well over Kirby amiibo, so yeah. Okay, now these next I'm going to show you, I'm going to have to take the camera away from here to show you all. Now, the top ones here are some of the ones that are video game related. I got Reaper here. I got Sander Cohen from Bioshock. Majora's Mask, the Deku Mask you saw in the previous video. Keaton Mask and Re-Dead Mask, because my favorite character said. I've also got Tao Kaka from BlazBlue. Stone Mask from JoJo, but this is more games and anime, so I got Rick's Terror Mask from Splatterhouse. I've got Aku Aku and his bro, Uka Uka. Down here I have the Dragon Priest Mask from Skyrim, Scarecrow from Arkham Asylum. I've got Wolf from Payday 2, a Bionicle Mask. Over here I have the Father Mask from Dark Souls, Groot bust I made, and then over here I have Corvo's mask from Dishonored. Now, this is the statue I made to go along with that. TNT block and nitro block. Now, here is a custom I made a long time ago, and this is the Aku Aku to go with it. So here is Crash Bandicoot. Here is a great mask I made a long time ago. One of the first ones I made, actually. This is Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal. It's fully wearable with leather straps and everything. So yeah, this is it.